Hello and welcome back to the Misty Morrison Podcast. I'm your host, Misty Morrison, and this is episode 62 of Petty Please. Here on the Misty Morrison Podcast, we love to read or listen. We love to look at all the stories of pettiness, revenge, entitlement, compliance, bad bosses, bad neighbors, all the things, and be grateful that is not our drama. Before we get into the stories for today, our usual housekeeping, whether you are new or returning, please engage with the content to help the channel grow. Online engagement is free and every little bit can help grow my dream. If you are listening on podcasts, please leave a 5-star review if you liked it. Anywhere else, give it a thumbs up, a like, a heart, share it with a friend, leave a comment with your thoughts on the stories down below. Subscribe for more and hit the bell icon to be notified every time I post a new video. Long-form content goes live every Tuesday and Thursday at 6 a.m. on podcast and YouTube. And short-form content goes live 3 times daily on YouTube, TikTok, Instagram, and Facebook. Okay, into our stories for the day. Story number 1 is coming to us from r/malicious compliance. I made my boss take the shit for his idiotic system to customers. And this one is actually reposted in r/malicious compliance from r/anti-work. I work at a cafe where the owner is obsessed with maximizing profit. We already charged extra for oat milk, syrup, takeaway cups, basically everything except breathing near the espresso machine. Not too bad. But one day he decided we were going to start charging for tap water. Not bottled water, tap water. Like someone buys a sandwich and asks for a glass of water, boom, 75 cents. Everyone on staff thought it was stupid, but he acted like he'd invented modern economics. He even printed little signs explaining how cups, dishwashing, and labor have costs. The funniest part was that he and everyone knew customers would hate this, which is fair. I would too if I was a customer. So I decided that every single time someone asked me for tap water, I'd smile and say something like, "Oh, my boss actually handles all questions about the water policy. 1 second." And then I'd go get him every single time. Didn't matter if he was in the office, unloading stock, eating lunch, or pretending to do accounting on his laptop. If someone wanted free water, I summoned him like a cursed spirit. At first, he'd come out all confident with his rehearsed explanation. Well, unfortunately, there are operational costs associated with, and customers would immediately hit him with, "You're charging for tap water? Are you serious? I just spent 14 euros here. Every other cafe gives it for free. Is this legal?" I looked it up. It's not, LOL. Meanwhile, I just stand there pretending to wipe the counter while enjoying the show. This went on for like 2 weeks before he completely lost it. One afternoon, a few days ago, he pulled me aside and went, "You need to stop bringing me out there for this." I said, "But you made the rule." And he goes, "Yes, but it's degrading having to explain to customers all day." I genuinely had to look away so he wouldn't see me smiling. Like, my brother in Christ, if explaining your own policy humiliates you, maybe the policy is the problem. Anyway, as for now, the tap water charge disappeared. No announcement, no apology. The little signs just vanished overnight like they never existed. Still one of the funniest acts of malicious compliance I've ever committed. I agree entirely. That's so bad. So we have well water where I live. It's a spring-fed well. So we have really good water. And one day I took my son out to a restaurant in a bigger town. Some might call it a city. So I took him out to dinner at a steakhouse there. And when they came to get our drink orders, he said he just wanted water. Okay, cool. He got water. Well, our drinks come out. I got a soda. So our drinks come out and he takes a sip of his water and he makes an awful face and he tries some more. He still makes this awful face. So I'm like, "What's wrong, bud?" He said, "It tastes like toilet water." And at first I laughed. I'm like, "Oh, you're just being silly. You've never drank toilet water. You're just being silly." And he kept making the face every time he took a drink of his water. So finally I'm like, "Can I try that?" So he gave it to me and I tried his water. I was like, "Ugh, You're right, that does taste like toilet water. It's not good. So I shared my soda with him until the waiter came back around and we got him a chocolate milk. But all water is not created equal. Um, and especially like a lot of tap water, you shouldn't be charging for that. It's not good enough. Yeah. Because I know like generally restaurants give tap water if you're getting water, unless you specifically ask for bottled water. The free water that you're given is always tap water, and generally it's not good. So that's why if I'm eating out, I get a soda or something, because I'm not going to pay, well, like if I'm traveling, I'm not going to buy bottled water if I can have my own water. But like at a restaurant, I can't drink that. He was right. It tastes like toilet water. It was bad. Uh, Tangent. Yeah. But that was a good story. I liked it. That was funny. Let's see. Story number 2 is coming to us from r/malicious compliance. In the ground? Okay. As a military spouse, you find ways to keep yourself busy when your other half is deployed, especially when you're a subwife and it's weeks, if not months, of no emails. I kind of noticed while we were living in base housing during the pandemic that I could not have my garden in pots. Everything had to be in the ground. Background, we were supposed to move, but then COVID happened. The gardening started pre-pandemic, but then I got more into it when I found out we couldn't leave. I originally did some basil, oregano, and tomatoes in pots, but got a notice that I couldn't have potted plants. That's weird. Reason, I was petty. I got notices for things like AC units still being in October 1st, but it was still in the mid-80s. However, if I needed them to do anything, it was like pulling teeth. A hornet's nest twice the size of a basketball? The fire department ended up taking care of it because they were tired of waiting. When the pipes burst into our house, they berated me and the following conversation happened. Housing, if you're letting the dog pee in the house, there's going to be an extra cleaning fee. Me, yes, I know my comment probably wasn't the right thing to say, but I was furious. 1. Even if he did pee in the house today, that sound was effing loud and it probably scared him. 2. I have seizures. There are probably more pee stains and blood in the carpet from me than him. That almost got my husband to laugh. Not that a pissed off wife is funny. Long before the incident with the pipes, there were other small issues that after 4 years, I just ended up going. My garden goes in the ground. We're staying here 3 more years. I'm growing oregano, and you're going to have to deal with it when I leave. It's been 2 years. I wouldn't be surprised if it has taken over half the front yard. You see, oregano can be very invasive and very difficult to get rid of. It really took root while I was there. I was consistently going out and, well, not pruning it. Just getting little sprigs for cooking. But when we left, I pulled up the little mini dividers that were keeping it from taking over the yard. They're going to have to get really creative to get rid of it. A recent phone call to my next door neighbor there. A new family has moved in, and when he told the wife what the plant was, she was ecstatic. So, plant's still there and huge. Edit, getting a lot of comments about mint. There was already mint when we got there, as well as strawberries. I love it. I mean, you just did what they said. What they said was ridiculous. So I don't blame you for maliciously complying here, but they said it had to be in the ground. So by golly, you put it in the ground. They did not take into consideration where it would go from there. Story number 3 is coming to us from r/malicious compliance. I mean it. Stay out of the kitchen. Okay, if you say so. I started working at McDonald's. It's a job. My job is primarily service, which means I'm bagging the orders, making drinks and boxing fries when cook staff is busy, handle customers, and cleaning. Worked here for 2 weeks now, and I've been getting used to the flow of things. Today, my last hour during lunch rush, my manager told me to focus on customer orders. So when there was no more customers, I went to the back to help and got told to get out and focus on customers. I told her there was none, and she said she didn't care. She needs me out there. I stand by the register for 5 minutes and go back again and get told the same thing, but she's more forceful this time. I mean it. You need to stay out there. Okay, fine. So I stood there by the register for a whole hour. A customer was waiting for their bag that was right there, and I knew what she needed. She was getting upset, and I told her, I'm sorry, I would get that for you, but I'm not allowed back there right now. I ran out of medium cups and asked a coworker to get them for me. She assumes I don't know where they are and offers to show me, so I say again, no, I know where they are. Manager doesn't want me back there right now. Someone else tells me that I need to give customers their drink cups even if they order on the kiosk. Again, I say, I would love to, but I'm not allowed to go back there and see what they ordered, so I don't know if they ordered a drink unless they tell me. It's been 30 minutes and I'm basically begging now to help because I'm so bored, but told again, I'm needed out here. So I sit more and just wait for my shift to be over. Eventually, a shift lead said I need to help and not shrink my duty. So I fully explained the situation to her, and a general manager overheard, who said she would talk to the manager that told me that. My manager pulled me aside and apologized, saying she just felt overwhelmed, so that's why she kicked me out. I mean, I get it when people are new, sometimes they are not the most helpful. It is a slow process to teach people things, and it slows down your own process when you have to take the time to help someone learn something. But after all that time to continually keep telling you, when you've said there are no customers for me to help, I'm bored, and to just keep sending you away because she's overwhelmed, you could have helped her and helped reduce the overwhelm. Story number 4 is coming to us from r/entitled people. My sister, who I'm no contact with, thinks she's moving into my new apartment and evicting my roommate. My sister and I have been at odds for a long time now. Basically, my brother, her, and I are all adopted and not bio-related, and she was putting a lot of pressure on us to get in contact with our bio families, who are weirdos and not related to her at all, and we cut her off over it. It's a long story I won't get into here, but anyway, my sister is the type to go out of her way to hurt you if you don't do everything she says. So what did she do to get back at me? Slept with my at the time boyfriend, now ex of course, and then rubbed it in my face. Cool, cool, cool. Thanks so much, sissy. So here's the part that cracks me up but also truly pisses me off. My brother and I have cut off my parents because they enabled this little demon, and basically my mom's birthday just passed and my brother and I were nowhere to be found, and especially since Mother's Day is coming up, she's crashing out. Boo-hoo, don't care, sorry, you still have your golden child daughter who hates you, so you should be fine. Anyway, my cousin was at the birthday they had for her and said this is what my sister was saying. So I've been planning on getting an apartment with my 3 besties for a while now, when we basically just moved in. It's in the city of where we grew up, and I'm so excited. The funny thing, my sister is getting sick of living rent-free at my parents' in the suburbs, so she's decided she's going to replace my one roommate and move in with me and have my parents pay her rent. Mind you, she and I have been on bad terms for months and almost no contact. The last time we spoke, she was showing me the picture of her naked in my boyfriend's bed with him asleep next to her, and she was being nasty AF about it. But now she thinks she's moving in with me? Girl, huh? The best part is she has decided that the roommate she wants to replace shouldn't be there because he's a guy and it's just going to be a girl's apartment. And then she dropped in some random homophobia just to top it off. So again, we don't speak at all. I hate her. She slept with my boyfriend and gave my insane bio family my contact info. I don't speak to my parents over her BS. But she's decided she's moving in with me because she wants to live in the city, and she has also decided my childhood best friend gets the boot because he's a guy, and she doesn't want to live with a guy, and blah blah blah. LOL. Okay, girl, good luck with that. I mean, I don't feel like you've dealt with this directly enough. The first comment says, let the landlord and any security the building has know that she's not welcome. Clearly she is cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs. This the audacity is what's blowing me away here. It's so far beyond entitlement to think, oh, I did all these horrible things to you. We don't talk, we don't like each other, but I'm going to decide what happens in your apartment by kicking out your friend, roommate, and moving in myself, even though we don't talk. Well, I want us to live together. This is bizarre. This is bizarre. I get like being willing to do certain things so you can continue to live rent free, but have more of the living situation you want. But this is not it. Story number 5 is coming to us from r/entitled people. Handicap parking. We went to a concert tonight for my kids' school music program. It was at a junior high school, so parking was limited. One lady was sitting in her car, parallel parked across 2 of the 4 handicap parking spots. But if they want a spot, they should get there early, just like my dad, who took one of the best 2 open spots. He got there 30 minutes before the concert started, so he would be sure to get a handicap spot. You shouldn't take half the spots by parallel parking in them and then sitting there in your car until your family gets there. Yeah, that's selfish. Story number 6 is coming to us from r/revenge stories. My power tripping manager braided me, so I got him fired almost 2 years later. For context, I, female 20, work at a large corporate restaurant chain with a very high turnover rate. Fresh out of high school, I began working there, putting me at 18 years old upon hiring. About 2 months after getting hired, I began having issues with one of 4 managers. We'll call him Richard. Richard has a horrible habit of choosing favorites and denying people things for no good reason. Breaks, food, time off, swapping of shifts, etc. Quite literally illegal, but when you're managing a staff of 80% teenagers, they don't often fight back. One day, a coworker asked me if I could pick up his shift, so I agreed and went through the proper channels of picking up said shift. A nearby male coworker overheard me discussing the pickup with Richard and butted in, saying that he has also picked up the shift and wanted to take it. Richard completely shut me down, denied me the shift, and gave it to my male coworker. I was very frustrated, but as it was the middle of a shift, I decided to table it until I was almost off. During that shift, one of my coworkers came up to me and told me that Richard was gossiping about me to another coworker and told them that he didn't give me the shift because he didn't want to put up with my attitude that day. Richard wasn't even the manager scheduled for the day I was attempting to pick up. I approached Richard before I clocked out and asked to talk to him. I respectfully told him that I was confused as to why he would deny me that shift. I'll condense it down to his most prominent and memorable points. I have a horrible attitude. He wasn't sure if I really enjoyed working there. People allegedly thought I was a bitch. Yes, he used that exact phrasing. The restaurant industry is tough and no one there had my back. I dismissed myself from the conversation, which was really him talking at me and my nodding along while wiping tears. I went out to the back dock to escape and compose myself, all while on the clock. You cannot cause me emotional distress for free. Cried some more and hit my vape, and chatted with some very supportive and kind coworkers who either came out to also smoke or throw away some trash. Following the situation, I talked to my general manager, who talked to Richard, and was given a write-up. To this day, I still don't know why I bit my tongue and didn't just squeal to HR. That's okay. It helped me in the long run. Now here comes the petty revenge. Over the next year and a half, I kept track of incidences that had occurred with Richard, either including myself or all other coworkers, and documented it in my notes app. There was a lot, and I mean a lot, of issues with him in that period of time. The final straw for me, and caused me to finally release the ticking time bomb I had been carrying around in my pocket. He told me I don't know what to do when I was facing an issue with a difficult guest, leaving me alone to handle it. So what did I do? I proceeded with my plan. Operation Take Down Randall. I created a burner email under the name Mike Creased. I sent a detailed email to my company's HR, anonymously detailing every single incident with him. The final email can be submitted if requested. Oops. Here's my top 3 violations. He showed a coworker a picture of another coworker's feet that was sent privately between the two without the girl's knowledge or consent. He stated that men come first in the restaurant. He openly discussed personal details regarding another manager. He told TMs that the manager likes... Oh, I cannot read that. One week after my bond was released, he was seen walking to his car before the morning shift, with a box and all of his things, never to be seen again. So yeah, I'd like to thank my grandma for the best lesson she bestowed upon me. Don't get mad, get even. All right, that is 6 stories for this week's episode of Petty Please. Thank you so much for being here for another episode of the Misty Morrison Podcast, and I'll see you guys next time. Remember, start each day with a grateful heart. Kindness changes everything. Bye, guys.